I'm here at Pastimes Gym, here with my boy Robby Marshall. You know, local Syracuse legend in my eyes. My boy, we grew up together from teenagers to now grown men. Robby played 2 years at Herkimer Community College. He was Player of the Year 2 years in a row. And then from there, he went to West Virginia Tech, played Division I basketball 2 years there as well. He is a youth director at the Boys and Girls Club on Hamilton Street here in Syracuse, New York. And without further ado, it's my boy Robby.
Hello, folks. What's going on?
Alright, so Rob, you grew up in Syracuse. Just tell me a little bit about, you know, your journey, you know, and how, you know, where you started from in Syracuse. Tell me about a little bit the neighborhood in Syracuse. You know, some people might not know about, you know, different pockets in Syracuse. Tell me about where you came from.
I'm Robby Marshall, Syracuse kid, Syracuse man, I should say now. I mean, Syracuse for me growing up was one of the best things. You know, you got a lot of things you could do. I played basketball majority of my life. That's how I met this guy right here. Probably met him when he was probably like 8, 9 years old. And since then, we've been good friends since. But for me, yeah, Syracuse, big city to many, but it's really small though, you know what I mean? You got places like New York City, which is downstate, which is probably double or triple times bigger than Syracuse alone. But Syracuse, like sport-wise and being like known locally, like, you know pretty much everybody. Like I played 4 years of high school basketball at Herkimer High School, a local inner city high school. I knew probably kids from Central Square to Auburn, New York, you know, Utica, New York. I got a lot of close friends that's just all around Syracuse area, or downstate as well, you know, once I got to my college years as well. But yeah, back to the Syracuse thing I just said. Syracuse is a pretty good place, a good place for athletes. It's a bunch of us, you know, it's a lot of players that done won places in Division I, played major talent, NBA, NFL, WNBA. Well, we got some lacrosse players as well. I mean, you guys about the same.
Yeah, got that too. Yeah.
Syracuse though.
Just tell me a little bit about where you came from, like the neighborhood you grew up in.
Yeah, I'm a South Side, East Side kid, so I grew up pretty much on the South Side of Syracuse. Fun place. I had a lot of friends, you know, well known around. Even now to this day, like I see a bunch of people, hey, how you doing? Hey, Robby, how you been? I didn't know you were still here, because like I said, it's a small place, but it's also big in many areas. So you gotta think of places like Liverpool, that we consider like outskirts, is all Syracuse to me. Beeville, CNS, I said local, but outskirts to me kind of. But other than that, man, it's a fun place. You know, East Side, Syracuse, a little different. Every side of the town is pretty much different, you know what I mean? You got different types of people, different types of genres going on, different types of culture, you know, so.
Nothing about around here, for sure. You know, give us a little, you know, a little information on how you yourself was able to come out your neighborhood and end up in a college situation.
All right, yeah. Growing up, I mean, you got choices. So, you know, either I'm gonna go with the bad crowd, or I'm gonna go with this crowd and try to do my own thing, you know what I mean? So, coming up for me, I know just like my mom, my grandparents, my dad, a couple people who just kept it serious and base with me. Listen, do your thing, but always be a leader, never be a follower.
For the kids out there that hoop, you know, young black kids, young inner city kids that wanna be athletes on your level that you got to be. You was Player of the Year for you know, for college, you know, for even if it's community college or whatever, you was Player of the Year for something. Kids out there, especially inner city kids, will want to know how did you do that?
My bringing it up, keeping it, you know what I mean? Like I said, I always wanted to be a leader, so I never wanted to follow. So once I picked up the ball, I kind of, as years grew on, I think I really started taking it serious later on, probably like when I got like 10, you know, I realized I was kind of good.
So you know, Player of the Year 2 years in a row. For the kids out there, what could you tell the kids that want to hoop? You know, the young inner city kids, the young black kids, whoever wants to get to a high elevation in football, basketball, whatever. What could you tell them how to get there? You were able to reach be player of the year over, you know, there's hundreds or thousands of players, you know, in the division that you played in, but you got player of the year. So what could you tell those kids that you did that helped you to get to that high elevation?
All right, as a kid, I'd just say I took it more serious when I figured out like I really wanted to play basketball. Like I thought I'd play like football as well, but I think once I started really understanding with my height and stuff how basketball was going, I took it a little more serious. I looked at it as when an adult tell you something or somebody older than me told me something, even if somebody is around the same age but they don't went through the same thing, you have to listen and take an understanding of what's going on. You want to also like look at things and understand where it could take you in life, you know what I mean? So you never know, something I was thinking when I was 5 years old, I might have had a different look at when I turned 15. Later on, 10 years later, when I turned 25, it's like, I might have a different outlook on it. So it's like, you look at something like, hey, I might become a professional player at once, so.
I said it before in other interviews, but I think a lot of people don't think about the backstory. Like they see, okay, Robby Marshall, he's nice. They're watching you on the court. They're seeing you in your skill set, but they don't. A lot of kids don't think about the backstory. Like what do I have to learn?
What does it take to get to that next level? Like I ain't talking about those many, car rides that we took or van rides that we were taking 5-6 hours to a local tournament. You know what I mean? What was I doing during the week before that tournament? Was I sleeping right? Was I eating right? Was I working out? You know what I mean? Waking up, going to the gym, getting shots up. Was I running to the gym? Was I running just to keep my conditioning up? Like even when you look at like sports now, like most players are in good shape. But like just their mental of the game, like their knowledge of the game.
As a black father, most importantly, what would you say to other, young black fathers? You were a young black father. You had your son's what, 5?
5, yeah.
What would you say for other young black fathers out there is the most important thing that you teach your son, going forward?
I would say as for black fathers, males all around, or even just a father or parent in general, like being a parent is one of the biggest things, you know what I mean? Getting to watch your offspring grow into their own person, watching their mind develop, watching them just grow body-wise as well, you know what I mean? Like that's a freak of kind of nature when you think about it, you know what I mean? Like imagine you just having this little person, next thing you know, they just grow to be 6'8", 7 foot tall, you know what I mean? And granted, I'm 6'6", my son is probably right now, 4 or something? At 5 years old, like 4 foot.
I'm still flawed.
Intro to Aiden. But like as for a black father, I say it's one of the biggest things, When you turn on the TV, what's things you see? Like I said, black on black crimes. You see sports. These are like certain things that are like big in our culture and like life right now. Like kids are exposed to a lot. You want to be in your kid's life. You want to also teach them the things that will have them successful in life. You know what I mean? Like to me, even when I think about it now, like I think about a lot of the topics we went over in school. Where is it in life that we're using it or putting that to use? You know what I mean? Compared to just like common sense. Like if you have a lot of talks with people nowadays, what you think they say like people lack common sense. You know what I mean? Like something that's so common, but it's so hard for people to like digest it or, you know what I mean? Like pass it on. That's it. The kids is number one. So if we can get to them or reach them and get them to feel like it's more than just this and that going on, or it's more than being hanging in the streets, or it's more than just sports, you know what I mean? Like I said, it's a whole life, or when you look at it as a whole, like not just United States, when you look at these other countries, like it could be worse for people. It could be worse though, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people complain about self-inflicted wounds that they caused or brought upon themselves, or they listen to somebody as in a term that I said earlier, following, and not going out on their own to try to see what something was for or how it was like, or introducing themselves to a person or meeting a person, going out word of mouth. Oh, I don't like this person because so-and-so, or because someone put an opinion out and not an actual fact. of a person. You know what I mean? That's a lot that goes on. Like even with kids now, you see it on a basis. Like kids could like each other off what they were dressed in. You know what I mean? So hey, he has a new Jordans, he has a new Nikes, he has a new Adidas or Yeezys or something. You know what I mean? So it might be a kid less fortunate that don't have it. So now they want to pick on kids or they want to talk about that kid. But everyone doesn't come from that background where it's like my parent has money or whoever, my legal guardian has money. So that's what some kids tend to turn to. That's when the things start changing. That, oh, I'm gonna go in the streets, or I'm gonna go do this, or I'm gonna steal, you know, to get these things so I can feel accepted.
So, just tell me a little bit about what you got going on right now completely. Like, you know, so I know you at the Boys and Girls Club on Hamilton Street. Tell me a little about programs you got going
right
on.
now I'm at the Boys and Girls Club, team director, as you stated. We do a bunch of things. We got different programs throughout the day that we got going on Monday through Friday. So we have team programs where we have like top programs. So basically that tells you, or you go in there, you talk about things from like hygiene, things of what's going on like in life right now. You know, so like current events, stuff like that. We have STEM, which is a science program, and this is for our youth, like our younger kids, not just our teens. We go on field trips with our teams. We go to local games from football, basketball, any sport. You know, we have donors, so they help us with tickets and stuff that help us get to those, like SU games and stuff like that. Also on the weekends, we have been doing junior NBA. So we just got done with 9 through 12-year-olds, probably 2 weeks ago. Yesterday was the first 13 through 15 basketball junior NBA. We just had our little tryouts. We normally get about 60 to 80 kids. Fun, good environment. These kids we're looking for right now, 13 to 15, so no JV players or freshmen, modified. Matter of fact, yes, all those players are accepted. Then later on, we'll start 16 through 19. So those will be our players that play varsity, or maybe they didn't get to play varsity but could play. We have trophies. We have this every weekend, Boys and Girls, Shawnee Street Boys and Girls Club, where we have vendors who come through, do their thing. We do other events such as free haircuts for kids. So we might have a party on the weekend for the kids. You come through, free food, be free drinks. It might be a basketball tournament going on at the time. Something might be sponsored by somebody, you never know. I know one of our events we had a 3-on-3. We had Body Armor sponsor us, Q4s, which is a shoe company. We had a trainer from one of the Long Island schools, he's a trainer for a Long Island school / coach. So he came up, he gave like some speeches, talked to the kids. Like I said, it was a race, so we had a tournament with it. Winner of the tournament got free shoes, all sponsored by Q4. You know what I mean? Some of the staff were gifted some of the shoes as well. Pretty dope, you know. So, you know, Hanks, Officer Hanks.
Okay,
You know, he got the Rondo sponsored by the Q4.
Yes.
So, yeah, we had Drew Holiday and I think it was one other player. I can't think of the top of my head. Actually,
it was all over the news.
Yeah. So, we got a bunch of different things going on. So, even if you're on Facebook, any social media, if you see like Boys and Girls posts or anything.
And I'll put the link to some of this stuff in the bio too. So if anybody's interested in any of all these programs, the Boys and Girls Club, linking up with Robby and his team and the things they got going on over there. And Aiden, and little Aiden. linking up with them. I'll put the link in the bio. But it's my boy Robby. Like, thank Robby for coming out.
Appreciate you having me, man.
A lot of good gems. Like to thank Aiden too.
Come on, man.
a lot of good gems. A lot of good info, man. Like I said, it's my boy Robby Marshall.
Hello,
Player of the Year, two years in a row.
My name is Marshall.
Aiden Marshall.
Look, turn to the camera. Look at the camera.
Aiden Marshall. Say peace out.
Say peace to everybody.
That's it. Sunday Sound Off.